To each and every one of you. Welcome in the ring to each and every one of you, wherever you're joining us from tonight. Happy you guys could be with us. Share the live as you come on, please, and thank you. Smash that emoji button as well, folks, as we get ready to start. Happy to have all of you here with us. How y'all are doing, man? Good to see you on the live tonight. Siobhan and Marlene and Marcia and Low Key and High Key and Bernice and Young King. Young, not old King, Young King. Folks, as you join us tonight, why don't you share the broadcast for us so that others get the valuable, incredible information as well, and we move things along. Good to have all of you, Ingrid and Joseph and Kevin and Young King and all the other folks who are joining us tonight. Happy and delighted to have all of you all with us. Happy to have all of you all with we. You know, that's how we say it. Grateful to have some good folks here tonight. Share the broadcast for us. Smash that emoji. But how y'all doing? Hope life treating y'all kind. You know, I hope life treating y'all kind. Y'all aren't just taking punches, but y'all firing back. Please and thank you. You're firing back. Good to have all of you on the live, as I said. Wherever you beautiful folks are joining us from tonight, share the broadcast. We're trying to get our bearings at this end. How y'all doing? Who do we have with us tonight? We got Rihanna Mingo. Let us know if you're hearing us loud and clear, Rihanna. And we've got Roxanne and Rena and Bernice Dotson and Mandy Cummins and Dorrit Gibbons and all the wonderful folks. All the beautiful people. How y'all doing? Welcome to our broadcast. Wherever you all are joining us from, we are happy, delighted to have all of you all here with us. Have all of you all here with we. You all know how we say it. Crossing our I's, dotting our T's, fired up and ready to go. Folks, share the broadcast for us. A couple of you like Irwin Dunn and Everett. Folks, do what you got to do. Yeah. Guys, we're happy to be here with you another evening. So much happening in this country. Soon as you take your eyes off of it for a second. They're gone with you. How you all doing? Let me try to improve the sound quality. You take your eyes off it for a second. It's gone, them boys gone with you. I hope you're vigilant and you're watchful. You see? Vigilant and watchful. We're good to have all of you with us. Siobhan and Mandy and Debbie and Roxanne and Rena. Good to have all of you folks with us. Roxanne Odessa says watching, and Natasha and Tula and Ann and my God. The women outnumber the men 10 to 1. 10 to 1. Joy Phillips says ringside tonight. Welcome, Joy. Welcome. And all the other beautiful folks who are joining us tonight. Good to have you on the live. I hope you guys have been in touch with my Facebook page, my Facebook profile that tells us what's happening with the National Assembly and what's going on and where we are and what's happening and all that. Today, I touched on, is it Corsia? Corsia, the relaunch Corsia. There's another public servants. It's going to help them to bring them up to a certain level of standard and all that. That's after the breakdown, wreck up, dismantle. The Bertrand Collins School of the Public Service. College of the Public Service. Yeah. Donald George, you know the whole thing top to bottom. But when I listened to Irfan yesterday and some of what he said, alarm bells start going off. He talked half, he left half. And I talked the other half today. Because we got to hold him accountable, you know. We got to hold him accountable. This country is never doing alone. This country belongs to all the people of Guyana. It don't belong to any one person, one political party. No. Don't have it that way. Asquith and James and Penelope, Carol Howells and I see Faye Rodney is here as well. Faye, how you doing now? Faye, so good to see you. So good to have you on the broadcast. Abida Monroe is here too. Great to have all of you wonderful folks. So let us start there. Let us start on the Corsia front and some of my thoughts on this program. And no doubt some of my other parliamentary colleagues are going to weigh in, if not before the week is up. I know on Friday, God willing, should the Lord tarry, on Friday. All right, good to have Sandra Hanover on the live this evening, and I see Tamika and Bernadette and some lovely folks here with us. As I said, I offered some thoughts. Let us use that tonight as the opener, as we begin. You know, something to open the appetite. How y'all doing? The opener. Folks, we got the fight card set. It's only some of y'all listen. We coming in slow. Ring that bell one time for all you beautiful folks out there. All you beautiful folks out there. Take a look and take a listen some of my thoughts on this whole course here and the developments in the public service. We all want developments. We all want development. I am so happy that you folks, you know, you come by, you listen, and you take what's for you, and you left the rest. You all are some nice folks. You all are some nice folks. Take a look, take a listen.
The President's renewed emphasis on digital transformation and human capital development at the launch of the government's Coursera partnership. His call for a results-driven, technology-enabled public service is a vision we share. Ghana must indeed prepare for a rapidly evolving digital world. Our public servants deserve opportunities to gain new skills and to build new competencies. But while the President offered his vision, he gave no answers to fundamental questions of transparency, accountability, and value for money surrounding this partnership. Modernization cannot be built on motivational speeches alone. It must rest on clear procurement rules, sound data protection safeguards, and measurable results. Despite a detailed feature address, the President did not explain, for instance, how Coursera was selected and whether any competitive procurement took place. In addition to that, what does the agreement cost, including licensing and recurring fees? Who will benefit? How many public servants are targeted? And which regions are prioritized? How will success be measured? No KPIs, no evaluation framework, no expected service delivery outcome. How will the program integrate with gold scholarships, for instance, and the 150K Coders Initiative, the digital school, and the existing public service training systems? How will they integrate with each other? How will data be protected on a foreign hosted platform, especially when the data protection bill is still pending? All of these are questions. What accreditation safeguards exist to avoid a repeat of the recent Staffordshire Gold scandal, which exposed the weaknesses in vetting foreign education providers? The President spoke of information safeguards and building efficiency, but did not offer the details needed to assure APNO and the public that this program is being run with proper oversight. The government also refuses to address the decision to dismantle the Bertrand Collins College of the Public Service, a national training institution built under the APNO AFC administration. That college promoted ethics, discipline, national values, and a professional public service culture. It was removed before the country had a chance to understand its importance, and now the government is scrambling to fill the void with outsourced learning. Coursera offers content, but it cannot replace Guyana's own institutional capacity for mentorship, leadership development, and public sector ethos. In light of these omissions, I will be tabling parliamentary questions to the Ministers of Finance and Public Service, seeking disclosure of the full costs, the procurement process, and contract terms of Coursera partnership, the number of public servants enrolled, and the regional distribution of access, the monitoring and evaluation framework for measuring impact, the data protection and privacy safeguards governing the platform, the accreditation and vetting mechanism to prevent another Staffordshire-type debacle. The Public Accounts Committee also should scrutinize the digital learning expenditure and foreign training contracts as part of its upcoming audit cycle. Ghana needs a modern public service, one that is skilled, agile, and globally competitive. There's a semblance of that on paper here, but vision without transparency becomes vulnerability. The government must now provide the facts, the costs, the coverage, the safeguards, and the results. Until then, APNO will continue to press for answers because digital transformation must be anchored in integrity and not ambiguity.
Yep. So what I said today on this whole course here issue, then we walk through this Staffordshire issue, where the people said they didn't know them. then we walk through it, And we say, well, okay, if people didn't know them, when these kids they writing exams and so on, who are marking the papers? How are them grades gone? So we gotta be so much more careful because we understand who we dealing with. I saw so many things have it already happened already. Manny, y'all done forget Staffordshire. Bernice, y'all done forget Staffordshire University. Who said we didn't know them? Depart from me. I never knew y'all. I know they're coming wrong. That's funny. Folks, I want you to check out my Facebook page and engage the content we put there to ensure that you guys are kept in the loop. What's happening in the National Assembly? What's going on? Not because you don't have a sit-in parliamentary work is not happening. You know? Some people waiting for the sit-in to come alive. Right? But you got to work inside the building and outside. Please and thank you. So much happening, folks. A very good evening to all of you who are joining us. Must hop over to my Facebook profile every now and again. You know, a lot of things flitting around Facebook that might not put it in a better place, but we're hoping some of the content. This is the actual work now. You know, the contention of ideas and the cross fertilization of ideas, and we hope that's how we move this country forward. With the best and strongest of the ideas prevail. Sometimes it's not us, and it's who got the money. And then when you got the thing now, the thing that you wanted, you can't mambo. Be careful what you wish for. Be careful what you wish for. Sometimes you get it. Right? Sometimes you get it. That's what I want to say. How you all doing? Folks, welcome to the broadcast. Patricia, Asquith, Heather, Mark, Rena, Alvin. We're going to have all of you folks on the broadcast. Believe it or not, we do have a couple of things that we want to share with you beautiful, wonderful folks. We do have a couple of things. You might not even believe it. We got a couple of things we want to share with you. I'm going to be out of your hair so that you guys can go ahead and have a fantastic day. So many things happening in this country. As soon as you blink, you know, and this contract here between Total Energies and Qatar Energy and all the energies, you know, my Lord, it's all your riff, you know. So, it's on the new production sharing, PSA, the new regime and this and that, and you still didn't renew the last contract. You still didn't renew the 2016 production sharing agreement, right? You still didn't renew it. But we want to see what this is going to do for the people of this country. Roxy McKinnon, this government is spending $3 billion a day. When you look at the amount of money they've had from January to now, the last budget, $3 billion a day. And then when you look and see the amount of money they've taken out of the Natural Resource Fund, it's $1 billion a day they're taking out. We all have money going. And then you got to bring this 15 million US now from Petronas and Qatar Energy and Total Energies. Is deciding bonus and what have you. You got to bring that now in the coffers. Folks, we ain't got a reason why people should be punishing in this country, why people can't see the way, you know? And we out there working for the people of this country, and I see some of y'all saying that Anil Vex, right? And they got to go to work, right? But the kind of work that they want to engage in is outlawed, you know? It's outlawed. Andrew, they got to go to work. Don't just there watching us and envying us and so on, right? Let us move the business of our people forward. As I said today in a letter to the editor dispatch to the papers, we got to meet more often as a National Assembly. We got business to conduct. I can't speak on behalf of WIN. God forbid. Can't speak on behalf of Fort Ghana movement. But I could talk about our team. We got business to conduct. We fired up and ready to go. And I feel like I didn't feel a little how, you know. Before he just scrutinizing these oil blocks and the signing and all of this kind of stuff to making sure it's above board. He worried about what we're doing. Right? I think like he's a little taken aback now that we have done the kind of work we've done in such a short space of time since the Parliament has reconvened, and like he feel a little how I don't know if Jagdi had to call and said, "Anil, what's happening here?" Because I listened to him when he talked about their parliamentary agenda and their legislative work program and so on. I listened to him, and it was a lot of fluff and bluff. I could tell you that. It's a lot of fluff and bluff. You know when people fluffing and bluffing, and you could do it, but only for so long. It got its time and its place. But for the most part, if we want to move this country forward in a real progressive way, we gotta sit down together, Brenda. Sit down together, Mandy and Morna, and we gotta think a couple issues through. We gotta think a couple issues through. Banto, and people ain't got nothing on us in terms of ideas, right? In terms of intellectual fortitude, any fortitude, toe to toe with any one of them, the best of them. But we want projects like these must redound to the benefit of our people. What's all of this for? If at the end of the day, we're better off. Some of y'all see this 900,000 barrels of oil a day we pumping. And y'all suck your teeth. Suck your teeth. That is how they get any money to spend the $3 billion a day. The problem is, it's not coming by you. That's the problem. The thing is not coming by you. Not coming by us. 900,000 barrels of oil we are producing. That's a lot of money, brothers and sisters. It is a lot of money. Right? 10 generations down the line for this whole country can be rich, but it serves the interest to keep some impoverished and a little cabal. A little cabal. Right? If you all go on my profile, Facebook profile, I've been sharing some quotes. All right? I've been in the market, talking with vendors, talking with people, but more particularly, Starbucks News on Monday, how the cost of living affecting people article. You read that. People got it rough in this country. Some of you listening to me right now, you got it rough, Patricia, Marlene, Nigel, Angela, Carol. Got it rough. Listen to me. I never try to pretend I got it like that. Never. My little son early on, so I'm climbing up on the fridge. You know, a little precocious fella. Take off the there. Climbing up on the fridge. I say, old girl, we gotta watch him. Cause we had to throw to belly for this fridge here. We don't know. Can't do it next month again, you see. Then by we throw the fridge next month, bring in one Tuesday, change the mind Wednesday, gone back again. No. Never try to pretend I got it like that. You know, live between. You can't get in problems like that. You ain't gonna stop me in a bus, a car, bicycle, nowhere and find nothing. You know, tourism, nothing. You ain't gonna find. Live within. When up parents tell you. Only how people gonna know you didn't want tennis show and dry, ain't got nothing on it. If you tell them. You know, you drinking a little black water, you go there, you stand up proud like anybody else. You know, you come through. We believe in education, our family. So go and learn something. After you learn something, you got something behind your name, you could do anything else now. You could flick, you could make airplane, paper plane, what have you. But learn something. You know, we cheering now, you know. You have a new kind of parenting now, yes. Best friend with the children. Best friend with the children. You're pouring his best friend and this and that. We came up different. Joy, Mandy, we came up different. I learned to talk when I was about 19. You know, you ain't need words in our home. My mother had an eye. My mother gave eye. There's a whole essay, you know. Right? Somebody come to visit and you run out, your mother makes sound. you got you gotta lie down and sleep for 4 hours. But just right? I got an older sister. She had her friends come over. I just happy to see people. I got pelting out. You know? Your mother watch a juicer. And you do like Matrix now. You do like you back skate. Right? Now you got best friend and everybody sit down and everybody meeting the same parents and children meeting the same disco and club and a restaurant and drinking house and all of that. You see, we got to fight for our kids, boy. We got to fight for our kids. Fight for our kids. And we talked this morning how we losing them. Huh? Little babies wandering out, drowning, getting knocked down, accidents, Wild West, murder, stabbing. Jesus have mercy. So much. You see? And we ain't even getting to live properly. We even getting to live 900,000 barrels. We know what? Right? Some people sugar whole. Some people know what eating tomorrow. Some people got to walk, choose whether they're walking, to walk or walking home. You understand me? And we got money like that. Right? Money like that. You see? All right. That ought to mean something to us in this country. That ought to mean something to us in this country. Good people, 900,000 barrels of oil a day we pumping. That's a lot of pumping. That's a lot of pumping. You know? My God. Moving on, folks. Moving on. This one here, I saw raise a lot of eyebrows. I saw Gail Teixeira, I think it was, talking about corruption, anti-corruption. Are we there? Let us detain ourselves here a little bit. Let us detain ourselves here a little bit. When rich people are fighting, right? You listen to Anil, Jagdio, tomorrow, the Carney Shop show, and so on. They have bungled this thing so badly. I don't get it. I don't get it. I don't get it. If Asruddin, he has been involved in infractions in the US with the wire fraud and all those allegations, money laundering and gold smuggling and all that. Right? If he has transgressed their laws, their rules, their regulations, and they want him for prosecution, we say, okay, because the agreement we have, prosecute, we won't stand in the way. Why we gotta pay for their liars? Why we gotta pay for their liars? As far as I know, I can't remember them charging him here for gold smuggling and mail fraud and all that. It's just the GRA thing that they drop. If the Americans want him, why we gotta pay for him to go? If Uncle Sam want him, why we gotta pay Uncle Sam's lawyers? That make no sense to me. That make no sense to me. When I saw the figure on that invoice, $63,000 a month, that thing hurt me. That thing hurt me. Because every day you live in this country, you engage Guyanese brothers and sisters who need help. And every time you think you don't got it like that, you got it so bad, you meet somebody else. You know, they got it worse. They got it worse. I was looking at a video, I don't know how many hundred you saw it. A man trying to brand a cow, some part of this country. Cow drop a kick in he. You understand? He can't say go home and lie down, and he just get up, shake it up. God again. Because he know nobody giving him nothing. You can't take a gear there. The cow put a kick in he. He bunks up on the foot, say, brat up. God again. Working hard. Hard. Some of us believe if you work a little more hard, we can get through. You work on dead in this country. We're producing 900,000 barrels of oil. We're paying foreigners 62,000 US a month. I don't know what they're going to do with me or us. Uncle Sam feel there's an infraction. Why I got to pay for that? Huh? Why? Y'all ain't going after the 191 billion Ghana dollars y'all say he owe here. You ain't going after that. Something fishy. I am not saying people are not guilty of what they're accused of or what have you. It's not even veracity that how these boys going about it. It is like amateur hour at the Apollo. Right. First thing you lie, you say you am paying them as American liars and this and that and America. I know America said the American. I think I saw something come out of the American embassy. They said the lies are not being retained by the U.S. So help me to understand this. You know, we got money and son, and we go with the matzalala. But if the lies are not being retained by the U.S., who retaining the lies? Because Rwanda, this got another aspect. You're telling me now, you have a treaty, and the U.S. said when their lawyers are coming, you got to pay for that as the host country. Fair enough. But then the U.S. also said they never retain no lies altogether. Is this a thing them boys pushing? And the Americans neither here nor there? Because people asking the question, whatever happened to May? Because wasn't May sanctioned the same time? Huh? Wasn't she the recipient of and facilitator and intermediary and all of that? Lie like when horse trotting. And that's why we see there's a trust deficit with this government. You see that COSERA course? Perhaps in any other country, you trust the authorities. You trust the authorities. As Cameron used to say, you presume regularity, right? You presume that they cover the basis until proven otherwise. Things have gone the regular passage. But we've had too much experience with them. So it's scrutiny for us. It's not innocent until proven guilty. For them, it's guilty. Let me prove your innocence. I'm just making light of it. But the fact that we can't trust them. Every time they tell you A, it's far down the line with the alphabet. You know, this is where we are. This is where we are. And it's just terrible, man. It's terrible. It's terrible. Look, they stopped Ashridin's sister. Y'all remember Jagdew complaining bitterly. He said he was holding Hickens responsible if Ashridin knocked down anybody in the Lamborghini and this and that. And then the next day, Ashridin's sister was held. The vehicle impounded. Now, this is why I like listening to a man like Paul Sloan. He's sharp where policing is concerned. He didn't spend 30 years in the Ghana police force and waste time. He was curious about what it entailed and learned a lot. And this piece will show you, he's a sharpshooter. He said they're wrong. To impound the vehicle, and they're wrong for that. But by the same token, he has an admonition for them. I said, this is a leader. This is how the thing operates. Right? You're wrong here. But you think you understand that? Take a look.
Retired Assistant Police Commissioner Paul Slow said on his podcast that the police acted unlawfully when they detained a vehicle driven by Ashridin Mohammed's wife. The police had trailed a woman who was taking her children to school. They then stopped her and demanded the vehicle insurance. None was presented, so they detained the vehicle. Slow said that this was against the law. According to Slow, the law provides for the driver or owner of the vehicle to produce the insurance certificate within 5 days of being stopped.
The law is saying that if a policeman stops you on the road and make a demand for your insurance, you don't have to have it with you, but you have 5 days to produce it.
While in custody of the police, it was reported that the police searched it.
In that case where you say, well, you find drugs or you find guns and all that other thing illegal, you are impounding the vehicle according to what they say, because the vehicle get tint, the vehicle get obscure number plate. You have absolutely no legal authority to do so. Because the trailing of that vehicle on Friday and the impounding of the vehicle would have required instructions. When they hear Jack Dio blow the whistle, they shit the pants.
Slow said that the decision by the Mohammeds to drive the uninsured vehicle was lawless.
But to be driving those vehicles and say, carry your children to school and so on, is totally unacceptable. But there is a lawlessness that they grew up with the PPP. When they were in the PPP, nothing would happen. When they were supporting the PPP, nothing would have happened because they were part and parcel of this corrupt cabal.
He had some advice for Azruddin Mohammed.
And let me say this to you, Mr. Mohammed. You want to be a politician, you want to be the leader of the opposition, you might even want to think you're going to be president. You can't operate like if you're above the law. Cannot. And your family members cannot operate as if they are above the law.
And you know, that is where we are, unfortunately. Unfortunately, that's where we are. When I see the sides trading stuff, it's like it's a vying for who more corrupt. You know, they say, look, you it's alleged you smuggle gold, and somebody said, no, but look this thing with you and Roger Can, y'all were in thing, and then somebody said back, no, but you to kill this person here, and we never did thing, and I said, no, but look, you owe me 191 billion, and then somebody shoots back and say, no, but look, you Jack Dio, and sue in the living room, and you didn't get investigate, and then somebody that's the politics, you know. That's the fight with who more corrupt. We're in a bad way. We in a bad way. But even that being said, you know, may have missed it, but Mr. Norton at the last press conference of the PNCR, APNU, he said that you got a double standard with this government. Like he said, the Mohammed, they will have their day in court to clear the name, or we understand the veracity of the charges and the allegations, the sanctions, and the indictments and so on, right? But this is a government of double standards. That's the point he was making. The police, double standards, the government, a lot of double standards.
I heard yesterday the vice president saying that Hicken has to be accountable for this Lamborghini being driven without insurance and all kinds of nonsense. I laughed. It is the same police force they use to escort that Lamborghini to the quarantine and bring it back.
That was leader of the People's National Congress Reform, Aubrey Norton. He was speaking at the press conference on Friday. Vice President Bharat Jagdeo couldn't contain his anger when Azruddin Mohammed drove up to the parliament in his Lamborghini on November 3rd. Jagdeo said that he was holding Police Commissioner Clifton Hicken accountable. This accountability would be for any death caused in an accident involving the Lamborghini.
So you are sending mixed signals to the police force. If you do not allow the law to take its course, then the Ghana police force will always be in problems. And that is apart from the fact that the leadership of the Ghana police force itself is considered to be part of the illegalities, as we could see from the indictment of that senior police officer.
The senior police officers had not saw a senior superintendent. He has since been interdicted. That means that he's still being paid half his salary. Norton said that if the Ghana police force is allowed to do its work, then it would be able to investigate all who commit crimes.
Sugate would have already been investigated. But because you have to be selective in your approach, The Guyanese police force is not guided by policies. They are guided by the whims and fancies of the government.
He noted the different treatment meted out to Devon Sears, who was arrested in a vehicle that contained drugs. There were two of them in the vehicle. One of them owned the drugs, but Sears was remanded.
But he must be sitting there and asking, look, a man could shoot another man and get bail. And he languishes in a prison.
The man who shot the other was said to be a businessman. The victim was a policeman.
Not to consider there. Not to consider. I want to come back to the fact that our young people are looking on. Right? And whether by deliberation or by default, we're teaching them. And when you see that next generation take a certain course of action, you're going to look back and you'll know where it came from. Right? For a whole generation in this country, people look and saw Janet Jagan throw court order behind her shoulders. You know, and the mayhem that unleashed, right, on this country with law and order. We're now trying to find our footing back again after the APNU AFC government. And now it's like an open sepulchre, wild, wild west. Wild, wild west. Who else not carrying on in this country? Who else in WhatsApp messages and you picking what tax you want to pay and what vehicle you bringing in and this and that? Who else in this country? Right? Using the roads as though you're above the law because you know somebody. Right? I heard the Prime Minister said the other day, he said, y'all don't call me. Don't get into problems and call me. Who's been calling him? And who has he been calling to get them out of problems? And that's what he said, like he fed up. Why did send me for storm? Y'all don't call me. Obey the law. So on. The man crying out. He's crying out. As I saw this thing with the share, anti-corruption panel urges digital reform. You know, these are the guys, the PPP. And they kill you. Come and cry at your funeral. Fight your family to read a eulogy. When you hear them talk, if you don't really know them, took and came and democracy and rule of law and equity and human rights and equal justice and constitutional rule and democracy and these boys, you see, if you don't know them, oh, we got a conference and this. You're only taking a box of the Human Rights Committee at the UN's review in a couple of months. They're taking a, we are anti-corruption conference. Oh, we are anti-corruption conference. We used to care about anti-corruption when we launched this investigation with Jagdio and soon the living room and the tenant and the when are we going to do that? Case in point. Paul Slow hosted his program with Clinton Conway. Both men retired as senior assistant commissioners of police from the Ghana Police Force. Love to hear them in law and order issues. Clinton Conway, quite recently, was explicating matters from the Clinton Bacchus saga. And all that is of recent vintage. We ain't gone back to Monica Reese and this and that and all of it within the last 5, 6, 7, 10 years, the last decade. Some horror stories involving the Guyana police force. And what Clinton Conway says underscores the point that was raised by Mr. Norton. And in this case, Clinton charges the police force with a cover-up. And that's why I like these senior policemen who understand the business of law and order. Because when they paint the picture for you, you say it makes sense. I didn't think about it this way, but the thing makes perfect sense. What a wicked and corrupt government and elements in the Ghana police force. Elements, we got some professionals in the police force. Professional public servants. We want the best for them. And it's a corrupt cabal. Take a look at what Clinton Conway said.
Retired Assistant Police Commissioner Clinton Conway has accused the Guyana Police Force of a cover-up in the shooting death of Quinton Bacchus. Bacchus of Golden Grove, East Coast, Demerara, was shot and killed by policemen in June 2022. Policeland Corporal Christophe de Nobrega was charged with the murder. He was freed last week.
Person charged, and it's for the prosecution to prove that the person is guilty beyond a reasonable doubt, and not for the person to prove that he or she is innocent.
Conway said that the police should have done the work of producing forensic evidence.
Pathologist report, 6 bullets, including one in the chest. And you could tell me they won't find out what we call a warhead. I understand they found some spent shells. But if you found spent shells there right at the scene again, you're not going to find warhead.
Bacchus had received 6 bullets to the back and 1 to the chest. The pathologist failed to find even 1 bullet in the body, not even a fragment.
Well, the sound was pure cover-up. That it's not that they didn't find warhead, but they cover up because they were covering for certain members of the Guyana police force. And therefore, the case went overboard, but no, and then there's no other forensic evidence.
Multiple times, Quinton Bacchus was shot. You don't find no bullet, no warhead, and he was always in police custody. So who? The body. So who take out the bullets, the warheads, and everything is passed through and evaporate into thin air. And you remember when the court awarded his family $24 million, or was it 26? The government wanted to appeal that, but we were close to election, so they said, don't appeal it. Jack, you called downstairs, he said, don't appeal it. He didn't go downstairs, he called down, he said, don't appeal the matter. They wanted to appeal it. They said Quinton Bacchus had a gun, he fired on them. And when the gun was tested, the gun didn't work in. The gun didn't work in. They said we see with our own eye. Adriana Young, who turned 12 today in heaven. We see with our own eye. She went in a red and black Ram. They said Quinton Bacchus fired on them. They went in on the youngster from Essequibo or in Boston. They didn't find a marijuana seed. Nothing illegal. They found in his home and he dead. They didn't even find a blues. They didn't even find a blues from Pornhub. Don't ask me how I know Pornhub got blues. I know things. It's not green dongs. And in Boston is dead. Nothing illegal found in his house. He was not under surveillance by the police. He wasn't wanted for anything. And he has a SWAT team. Left Georgetown, went to Essequibo, and he's dead. That's not 50 years ago. That's within the last 7. And that's within the last 10. All you understand where we are? All you understand where we're there? Huh? We told them, December 2022, I think this bill was passed into law, became an act in local content. We said, put in a select committee, let's bring some minds who understand these issues and try to get the best legislation out. And now they're bringing it back from them, and the shame said, still, the shame. but they're getting too much of a backlash. They can't hold out, rally out. So they got to bring it back. This is not how laws are made. You pass a law, you come back, you amend it, you put in something, you take out, you go back, you come back. The law should be about certainty. We told them the Local Content Act was passed the same night with another very important piece of legislation. The Natural Resource Fund Act was passed the very same day. Put in a select committee. Let's put some of our best minds to work, because we want the best legislation for Guyanese brothers and sisters. And all of us can be proud of them. No. They know everything. They know everything, top to bottom. Here we are. Moving on. We had cameras in the city trained at the garbage bin. Who put it down? Who empty it? Garbage bin fever. You know the largest things, largest scope of life. We should be ashamed of ourselves. I seen headlines. Garbage bin launch. Jesus have mercy. We so far down, when we reach up, we touching bottom. Garbage bin party. We get garbage bin now in the city. Let me break dance and garbage bin and some young get it another time. People taking selfie with garbage bin, and you got hire influencers to come and talk about garbage bin, and I see y'all 10 miles out. I see y'all coming. Before y'all wake up in the morning, I see y'all. You hear me? I see y'all. Mind you, I find it odd. You see? All of this energy with Georgetown and cleanup. And you go in some neighborhoods where the PPP dominates the neighborhood Democratic Council. Like we were in Grove 2 weeks ago. People said they don't see them. Garbage is not empty. The drains clog up. We don't see the NDC. You ain't gotta go far. Grove is far. You go Houston there. That area. Houston and where's that other area there? Providence and so on, the NDC there. People complain all the time, the drains, carpets and being clean, and the drains and the mosquitoes and the flooding, and who rescuing Ramsburg and so on? Who rescuing there? We see y'all. I see them row about the cemetery. You go up the East Coast and look at cemeteries going up the East Coast. NDCs, they control. We see y'all. What's the local government campaign theme song and so on, your jingle and your band and so on? Just bring it out and done. Just bring it out and done. You see? So many municipalities, NDCs controlled by the PPP. Right? And got some systemic problems. Systemic problems. But it's Georgetown you want to rescue. We see you. We see you. We see you. Who gonna rescue them vendors? Who gonna rescue them vendors in Freedom Hoop? So vote for y'all. Look at you forsake us. Look at you treat away. You don't want we vote now. Yeah? You don't want we vote now. That's why I invited them. I said, you all go, man. You all go. You all go and see. They said, Duncan, then come. Oh. Take a look. We were over the west side. There ago, 2 days ago, spoke with the vendors there. The hardship this government continued to rot on our people is unimaginable. Take a look. Take a listen.
In the vicinity of the Freedom Hoop Ferry Stelling have been asked to remove. They aren't amused. They said as much when a team of APNU parliamentarians visited the area on Tuesday.
We have been seeing from the Freedom Hoop Stelling all the way to the Podrine tarmac is a government whose approach is most indiscriminate.
And the vendors had their say.
All the time I've been vending here for 25 years, we receive a notice from Public Works, not the NDC. And the NDC give me a notice. I was a kind of shocked for no, why the NDC give me notice? Anyhow, the next morning I saw the girl over the road. I go over the road, I asked her. I said, what is the reason for this notice? She said, she don't know. We got to go to town or region. We go to region, they don't know. They say go to town. When we got to town, not me, couple other vendors go to town, I couldn't make it. They said I went and reach go to Mr. Edgel's office. Some vendors said Mr. Edgel was right in his office, hiding from them. I don't know.
She said that no one has approached them to explain the matter.
But on election day, we know for go at the polling station and give them our vote and put them where they are today. And now
Them break up down 2 times. One time with Mr. Jagdale, one time with Mr. Ramatar. And when Ramatar break we down, we went to PNU office and he gave the permission back to come back and sell.
Now, if I ask for a job, you can give me a job. So I decide and raise some money on my own, and I come and vend out here, right? I don't have a problem if they say go in, not go in. They share a notice before, say we must clean the drain. They want the drain to clean. I spend $5,000 out of my money to clean that drain. Okay, you come back now again after a month, you say we have to move in 3 days' time. I don't have a problem, but where am I going?
That was the common thread with all the vendors at Reed and Hoop. Attorney at law Dexter Todd, another member of the team, said that the government should serve with compassion.
All across this country, there are foreigners vending all over the place and so on. Hearing most of you, Mr. Duncan is hearing as well. Most of the people here are single parents. Most of the people here, this is what you depend on. All right? And so putting you out of bread, saying you must shut up in 3 days, it's not good.
Vendors say that they have been given 3 days to dismantle their stalls.
3 days? We can't accept 3 days. 72 hours, we can't accept it because Christmas season coming. What we doing with things and what we done already purchased?
Dexter Todd said that there must be a plan to accommodate the vendors.
Often we hear from the vendors, there is no plan. No one has been talking to them. No one has said to them, we are going to remove you from X place and we are going to take you to X place. So what we're hearing is that they have been given a 3 days notice and they have been told you have to move. Many of them are asking the questions, move where?
Yep. That's where we're leaving it tonight, folks. That's our time and that's our program. Move where? Pray, why are you hiding? Bishop, why are you hiding? Why are you hiding? Why? Let us leave it there. On that high note, Mandy, Richard, Denise, Meiji, and I see James is here as well. And is he right, James? Is not the wrong one. Denise Champagne and Savage and Michael and Joseph and Les Lynn and all the beautiful folks, Lannis and June and Favor and I see Leonard and Sasha, Bantu, lovely Lily. Let us leave it here. Have a fantastic rest of the evening. We're going to see you guys on the next broadcast, folks. It's Wednesday, the 12th day of November. Take care. That's the time. That's our program. Stay safe.